your job or hurt your job if you had 20,000 more Border Patrol agents assisting you on the Texas-U.S. border?
Speaking on behalf of, Congressman, on behalf of my brothers and sisters from CBP, I would say that would help.
Yeah, I agree. And we passed legislation in the Senate that would have done that, and I wish we could get a vote on that in the House. I also just want to talk to you. My brothers sometimes are a part of raids. You know, it's a car stop. You take guns and drugs out of the car. You put them on a table. You have a press conference. It's a deterrent to future criminals, and you show and hold up the law enforcement who did that. Sometimes they raid houses on search warrants, and again, they find illegal drugs and guns and paraphernalia. Do you consider those types of raids that your department have done, are those successes or failures when that happens?
They're a little bit of both, I'll say, Congressman.
A failure because the drugs are in the community, but a success because you all caught them.
Yes.
The reason I bring that up is because I think too often many of my colleagues on the other side have rooted on some of the chaos around this issue and don't want to be a part of the solutions or the change. And so recently there have been a number of tweets that my colleagues have posted. One of them from Mr. Gooden. It says, enough fentanyl to kill 140 million Americans was seized at the southern border in June. In honor of Overdose Awareness Week, I'm calling on Joe Biden to close his open border. Then Mr. Buck said, since November, enough fentanyl to kill 2.1 billion people has been seized at the southern border. We must secure the border and protect our children and families. The chairman of the Republican caucus, Ms. Stefanik, said over 800 pounds of fentanyl were seized at our southern border in October. This is Biden's border crisis. And this is just cheering on chaos instead of honoring the police who did the tough job, the hard work, and seized the drugs and took them off the streets. If we want to talk about some of the fentanyl facts, 96% of the fentanyl seized in the last fiscal year was seized at ports of entry. And 86% of the convictions around fentanyl coming across our border were convictions of U.S. persons. 86%. So we should talk about fentanyl. We should go after China. But this is chaos, what I'm seeing from my Republican colleagues. And when George Bush had successes, rightful successes, stopping the war on terror, I never heard my Republican colleagues say, well, someone was stopped from carrying out a terrorist attack. This is George Bush's terrorism crisis. We should celebrate law enforcement. We should not deride them and use them to make points that actually don't even land because the fentanyl crisis is not happening where you all are claiming it's happening. So I will take this opportunity and I'll thank Sheriff Daniels and the men and women he works with, and I'll thank CBP for the hard work they do. And I invite my colleagues to join us, not in chaos, but in change.